Hey, welcome to Cow-Free Kicks. On this channel I review leather-free sneakers only, and today I've got an odd release from Nike. It is the Nike Air Max Phoenix. Welcome to the channel. When I review a pair of shoes, I always look into 5 different categories, and then at the end of the video, I will give these Nike Air Max Phoenix an overall rating out of 5 stars. And if you do like what you see as you're going along, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device and whilst you're down there, and if you've not done so already, please do take time to subscribe to the channel. So without further ado, let's first check out these Nike Air Max Phoenix on feet. So I bought these 4 days ago, and at the time they were available in 2 different colorways, but now I've just checked the app and website before making the video to see if they're still available, and unfortunately they're not. It says they're no longer available in adult sizes. It is available in youth sizes. It's probably just a glitch and they'll probably come back online in a few days. But if you are interested in buying these shoes in either colorway, you might have to check other retailers first, and I'm sure they'll pop up again on the Nike app and website very soon. But for me, I really don't like the overall style of the shoe. In terms of the shape of the silhouette, I'm not a big fan of it. It lies very flat on your feet because there's not too much padding with the upper, and it kind of follows the shape of your foot, becomes very narrow and flat towards the toe box because it's just fabric. So there's really no shape to the shoe, and it's very pointed and it's a very long shoe. It's quite an elongated silhouette from Nike, and it just makes my feet look very long and flappy, and I'm not a big fan of that. And in terms of the style of the shoe itself, I really don't like this fabric upper. It's a bit abrasive to the touch. It takes over the whole of the upper. There's no like perforation holes in it. I don't quite like the style. The laces are a little bit slanted. They're incredibly flat, and they've got sewn in eyelets as well on the side. I'm not sure about the durability of those in the long term. There's some bold AM branding for the Air Max side of the shoe and the top of a very flappy, loose fit tongue that's sewn in halfway down the shoe as well. So I'm not quite sure why they've done that, maybe for a bit more stability when you're lacing these up and on your feet. And then that's coupled with the fact that you get this really cheap feeling plasticky swoosh detail on the outside of your foot, and on the inside of your foot you get this really big Air Max written branding. I'm not a big fan of written branding on shoes anyway, so that doubled up with the fact that you get the big AM on the tongue. It's just probably not a shoe for me overall. If you continue towards the heel of the shoe, there's some TM branding, and that's because of the fact you've got an Air Max unit on this that's coupled with a Nike React X midsole cushion as well. Now the Air Max unit on this is incredibly chunky. The plastic ridge detailing on this is incredibly hard to the touch. So the heel cut for these is incredibly stable, but also very, very hard to the touch. And all of that sits on top of like a dual waffle cut outsole with the Air Max outsole as well. The unit for this, the Air Max unit, is very similar to the units you'd find on the Air Max 720s as well. 720s, the Air Max 270s. So overall, it's just not a shoe that I'm a big fan of. I think there's so many things I'd change about it. So looks wise, I think they're a big no for me. Now I want to talk more about their comfort, where I want to put this dual system midsole to the test on my back doorstep. You can see from the step test that there's a lot of give and responsive bounce back from this cushioned Air Max unit. The bubble on this is really soft to the touch and really does have a huge amount of give and responsive bounce back when you're putting pressure on it. Although I did not find the same responsive bounce back from the amount of React X foam midsole you get in the remainder of the shoe, and that's probably because it's not that chunky. It's a very thin layer of the React X foam, and it didn't really give me that much responsive give and bounce back under the ball of my feet and the middle of the foot. But when you're walking in these, you do get a really nice amount of bounce and energy return from this huge Air Max unit bubble towards the rear of the shoe. In terms of comfort on top of your feet, You've got a really nice amount of padding towards the heel and the foot entry. The tongue is incredibly flappy, but it's quite a nice material, so it does fit quite nicely. The fabric as well is quite loose and fits quite well on top of your feet. It's not restrictive at all. It's quite a soft material in terms of give. It does feel a bit abrasive with all these bobbles on it, but in terms of inside of your foot, it feels quite soft. And fit wise, these are an absolute true fit in your Nike sizing. Don't worry about going half a size up or half a size down. They fit perfectly in your Nike sizing. I've got slightly wider than average feet, but I didn't have any restrictions in the toe box. In terms of comfort though, there is one thing I would say. It did feel nice and bouncy underfoot with this Air Max unit, but it does propel you forwards when you're walking because the size of this Air Max unit, your feet are at quite an angle when you're walking in these, and because the heel hits first, you are almost propelled forward when you're walking in these. It was a bit of an odd sensation that I did get used to, but underfoot, the comfort is quite nice. Now I want to talk more about their weight, where I want to put them on the scales. Because of all that plastic overlay and this hardened heel cup and this Air Max unit itself, these come in at quite a high 393 grams per shoe. I consider any sneaker above 400 grams to be heavyweight. Below 350 and 300, you're looking at lightweight and very lightweight. So coming in quite close to that 400 gram per shoe barrier, these are almost fitting into the heavyweight category, and they do feel heavy in hand and on feet because of the amount of weight that you have towards the heel. It's a weird shoe because the front part of the shoe feels quite light. When you're holding them though, they've got this massive tendency to tip because of how heavy the heel unit is on these, and I don't feel like there was any drag when I was walking in them, but they are incredibly rear end heavy. Now I want to talk more about their breathability, where I want to pump this fabric upper full of smoke to see how breathable it is. Unfortunately, this is where the shoe lets itself down again. As well as looks, it's the fact that it's not breathable at all. This fabric upper has no perforations. It's an incredibly tight knit weave. You've also got all of this TPU dotted detailing on the top of the shoe as well. The only areas where the smoke escaped is the small areas between the tongue and the top of the tongue where there's a few perforations, and where the tongue meets the upper of the fabric where you've got those small eyelets for the laces. Overall, a really disappointing result in the breathability test, because don't forget, these aren't going to offer you any waterproof qualities at all, because this fabric is just going to soak up any water. So coming in as not breathable at all is a big letdown for what is probably being released as a summer shoe. And I'm going to talk more about their price. Now these come in at £125. And I don't think that's a good price for what you get for these shoes at all. And that's mainly because I just reviewed a pair of the Nike Heian-Su Ava Rovers that come in at 130. And I think that shoe absolutely dominates this shoe in every area. So overall, I don't know why I would spend £125 on these unless I'm a big fan of these bouncy Air Max units towards the rear of the shoe and the shoe silhouette shape itself, which unfortunately I'm not, and that's going to bring me on to my overall score. And sadly, these only come in at 2 stars. That's mainly because they do offer quite a nice amount of comfort. I'm really not a fan of their looks. Their weight is quite bad. Their price is all right, but they also lack massively in breathability as well. So I couldn't really give them any more than the 2 stars. It was very close to being a 1-star shoe, but I think the comfort for these really saved them for that. Now, if you've liked what you've seen today, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up right before you leave. You can also drop any comments below, and you can also follow me on Instagram, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.